Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this interesting episode of Lessons from the Masters brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. This webinar series, Lessons from the Masters, aims to expose you to the finer nuances of a topic that has a direct impact on your business. And this time, we have with us Partha Iyengar, who will share insights on life planning. Partha Iyengar of Accretus Solutions India has done graduation in physics and certification course in life planning from Money Quotient USA. Partha has found his ikigai in life planning. His quest to understand clients' relationship with money and life encouraged him to become a life planner. Today, Partha has mastered the art of retaining clients for life. So let's understand the nuances of life planning. To help us mine these insights on life planning, we are privileged to have us Mr. Rao, Senior Vice President and Head Distribution of Development and Investor Education at Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mr. Rao has been instrumental in launching many award-winning initiatives in the area of investor education and distributor development. Over to you, Mr. Rao.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Nishant. Indeed, it's an honor to be part of this initiative with the Cafemutual. We are very glad with it. Thank you, Nishant. Thanks to Prem for making this happen. And today we have a very important guest and a wonderful speaker. And good evening to each one of you. Hope you all had a wonderful Diwali. And thanks for joining this evening for another great session. And it is coming on a very unique day. I think most of these sessions are happening on Thursday. Thursday being considered as a Guruvar, and it's the gurus who can come and speak to us. Today we have a wonderful Guru Partha, and fortunately or unfortunately, today's date is 26/11. 26/11. Some of us who are logging in from Mumbai may feel all the discomfort of the life, but 26/11 has given to us India's constitution. Probably we can remember a little more better of the history than the pain what we have undergone. And incidentally, this is also a birthday of my first boss, Dr. Verghese Kurian. It is a 99th birthday, and the man who brought white revolution. Today, we are planning to get the financial revolution with Partha around. Thanks, Partha. Good evening and welcome. It's like, Partha is the name of Lord Krishna. It's a Arjun, and it's a, but look, Krishna we call Parthasarathy is the one who has taken Arjuna, and today you are the one who are leading for us. It's a multidextrous. I really congratulate for your visionary approach. It's like, you are the one who are the Asia's first financial life planner for Money Quotient, which you did way back, 10 years back, right? It is 10 years is a too long time, and this is the time as which arrived now to become somebody from financial planner to the life planner. Our friends, Partha comes with 3 decades of a very rich experience. It's in the sales, it's in the marketing, it's financial services and wealth management. Means, he is ambidextrous, like a Savyasachi we call, and is truly a part for us today. And it's like, the money quotient which he comes with is, money quotient is a combination of EQ plus and IQ is equal to MQ. Let us understand from him what is that MQ. And for me, Partha, it's life, I always call it is an acronym for me. It is a LIFE, living in financial empowerment, and IFAs or RIAs, whichever the name we call, we all work in this profession to have a financial empowerment or financial enrichment to the investors we are in. And we used to do a program called IFA Inc. There, this IFA is an acronym for us. The IFA basically owned to 3 people or three pillars. IFA, that is for the investor. F is for his own family or our own family, and A is the Almighty, because all that we deal with money. Awesome. And today it is since you are talking about life planning, and we have changed the IFA designation to MFD, and today probably MFDs can become multi-generational financial life designers. And in one of your presentations, which I saw, you are designing the life of someone. And it's like this is a great to have a life planning. And I love your thing. It's a Sinek Simon book, Asking Why. Your entire presentation comes with why, how, and what. And today, let me also ask you those questions: why and how and what. Today we have all the partners who are coming in. The audience are MFDs and RIAs or the financial planners who are in this field of financial services. And this is a juncture of the time. There is a confusion, one is a COVID's confusion, other side, the definition which has given, the designation which has undergone change, names which have gone change. There is an anxiety within themselves, which name I need to know. But I always keep telling for advisors, it is like, there is nothing called a qualification. You yourself is a qualification. You are an advisor, and whether somebody calls me advisor, not calls me an advisor, I am an advisor. And last week we had in this session, we were discussing, and I was telling him I was narrating one small story, which I had in my life I experienced. We were doing Pravas Bharati Divas way back in 2001 in Hyderabad. And we were holding, and we were the sponsors. Along with us, one of the sponsors was the sweet shop, famous sweet shop in Andhra Pradesh called Pullareddy Sweets. Okay. And the last day we were giving to the journalist all little compliments from our side. And next to me is Mr. Pullareddy, who was giving those compliments. And there was a journalist from Hindu business line, Hindu, not business line. He said, "Sir, I'm sorry, I can't take any compliments because I'm a journalist." And I said, "Fine, thank you so much." Then Pullareddy was there. Then he refused to take the sweets, and this boy was going off. Pullareddy called him and said, "Beta, ye compliment nahi hota hai, ye mera visiting card hai." I am known by the sweets. Similarly, financial advisor, IFA, is known by the advice. It doesn't matter which designation you call. Now I come to you, life planning and financial planning. And, we all talk about the financial planning, and you talk about life planning, life financial planning. Why should an MFD or RIA look at life planning? And before that, you can narrate your story. We love to listen from you, and let the conversation begin. Thank you so much once again for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rao, and thank you so much, Prashant, for the wonderful, wonderful introduction and kind words. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to see like 92 people wanting to attend on a Thursday, like what you mentioned. It's just amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Yeah, so to give a very brief introduction of me, what drove me consistently is like what you said. The designation doesn't matter, the title doesn't matter. The client is always looking at in terms of, can I trust this person with the money? Can I get peace of mind by working with this person? So the client is never even bothered about qualifications or anything, as long as they know that you are delivering for them. But what matters also is that how we are delivering it, and before that, the why that comes in. Why do you really want to be in the business? So that's one thing that, I kept on, I would say my purpose was, why do I want to be in this business? First of all, like what you said, Simon Sinek, I totally believe in Simon Sinek, the why, how, what. Why do I really want to be in this business? One of the reasons, like what you said exactly, is precisely that life financially empowered. That's precisely what, if we can get every individual or family's life empowered, financially empowered, and life empowered, literally speaking, by giving peace of mind, and they can lead at the end of the day, people are looking at only four things, right? Health, wealth, happiness, and meaningfulness, especially all the more so during this COVID time, right? Wealth comes in a part of it, yes, money plays a significant role, but it's not the be all and end all. So one of the things that drove me is to continuously seek knowledge. And seeking knowledge is something which I found would give me the edge to work with clients, to understand them better, to understand first myself better, to understand my relationship with money better, and thereby I can help my clients better. So this continuous journey of learning has led me to go to the US every year, invest in myself. Like Benjamin Franklin says, right? The first investment, or the greatest investment you make is in yourself, right? That's what I believe in. The biggest investment we need to make is in ourselves. If we don't do that, then there's nothing much that happens. So that's what have been the driving factor for me for the last 30 years, the passion of serving people. And if I have to serve people, that I need to really know very well what I am doing. So that's the basis of my journey, I would say, in a very short minutes. Coming back to why of financial life planning. why would somebody need to do financial planning in this landscape? If you look at, I do get it. I started off with actually advising on mutual funds way back in 2000, my journey. So I get this whole journey of serving retail clients, middle net worth clients, high net worth clients, ultra high net worth clients, family offices. And we have come full circle serving now children, millennials, and women, actually speaking. So when we look back, what happens is that why would somebody need to do financial life planning? Today, if you look at the business, it's commoditized. Forget about the regulator. We don't need to bother about regulator at this point of time. Regulator is always going to come up with something. But what matters is the whole business is commoditized. On the one hand, you have robo-advisory platforms, you have the machines doing all the stuff. And on the other hand, you have people. But if you look at, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. So if I can take back, the first was agriculture. The second was the industrial economy when steam engine was invented. The third was a knowledge economy, technology. We are still living that. But you know what? We have already made a subtle shift to people economy. That is, humans need humans. The biggest example I can give is, I'm sure some of you would have read it. In New York, before the COVID happened, there was a New York Times article. People are paying human beings to come and cuddle them overnight, not to make love. I'm very clear on that. Just to cuddle, they are paying by hourly basis. What does it mean in essence? People are lonely. With so much information overload and too many choices, people are actually lonely. They are looking at pathways to someone help them to lead that healthy, wealthy, happy, and meaningful life. That is all if you look at the four things people look at. We are going to drive through that today, overview of it. So that's one factor that you would definitely be looking at it. The more precise one, why financial life planning, is that it's actually a combination of neuroscience, it's evidence-based approach, and the most important thing which I think everybody would relate to is transformation. If you look at the first stage we were in early 1990s and 2000, when Morgan Stanley Fund started and then public sector funds started like Canara Bank and all that mutual fund, it was mere transaction. We were doing paperwork and transacting. Then we moved into a place, we offered solutions. We offered solutions in the form of, I hope everybody is able to hear me clearly. Please put it on chat if you're able to hear me clearly or not, so that I know it's going smooth. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you look at, we are in the solution stage, largely helping clients with our expertise and knowledge in selecting products, recommendation, analysis to help the clients to map with the goals and give the right solutions. But you know what? We are now moving into the next stage. We got to be prepared for that. That's called transformation. Transformation is you're helping clients to move from journey A to journey B in their life stage. It could be, part of the journey could be financial, like retirement planning, child education, child marriage. But what people are looking, like I said, you ask everyone one single question: are you happy? 9 out of 10 people are not going to say that. Everybody wants a magic formula for health, wealth, happiness, and meaningfulness. But it is possible to do that. And that is where financial life planning comes in. So what is life planning? Is nothing but is at the intersection of life and money. So money plays a significant role in all aspects of our life. For example, what are our aspects of life? It could be health, it could be work, it could be money, it could be inner growth, it could be learning, it could be relationships, it could be home, it could be community. So there are 8 to 9 dimensions of our life which money plays a significant role, whether we like it or not. So that's where at the intersection we are working. And what we are working is the transformation that we are doing is we are doing collaboratively with the client. We are not unidirectionally. That is, we are not, projecting and saying, you should do this, you should do that. A simple example is in today's scenario, Can you tell a child or instruct a child? It's called instructional parenting. Can you instruct a child and make the child grow? Can anybody answer that? Does it work? Yes, no. In today's world, can you do instructional parenting? Great, Venkatachalam says no, absolutely. So same thing with clients. You just cannot tell them. You cannot tell them. You will have to work with them and facilitate. And that is where this whole beautiful thing called choice architect comes in. If anybody has read this book called Nudge by Richard Taylor, who won the Nobel Prize, he talks about how we can facilitate our people. Wow, Venkatachalam is reading right now. Awesome. So how we facilitate basically clients to take better decisions. They might be here, but you can move them here. To give an example, for example, very scientific again. Everything is evidence-based. That's what we are moving towards to. But at the same time, there is emotions. So we will be looking at it. There was a research done in Chicago in schools sometime back because the children in US were getting very obese. So the Chicago state wanted to do something about it, the schools. So what they did was they brought in researchers to observe how we can change the behavior subtly. It's called Nudge, N-U-D-G-E. I'll put it in the chat. N-U-D-G-E. Yeah, Krishna. So what they did was they noticed the first few days how has been the canteen functioning. So people will come in the queue, the students will come in the queue, and the first will be all the junk food, literally, finger chips, burgers, and all those kind of things. And then in the last, you would have salads, fruits, veggies, and all that. What they did was merely shifted it. They kept the veggies, salads, fruits in the beginning, and then they kept the junk food. So what they did was they just changed the scenery. So you're not taking away the bad stuff that they are eating. It's called Nudge, N-U-D-G-E. Yeah, I'll put it up in the chat.
I'll write that.
Yeah. So what they did was it changed the scenery and they observed for the next 1 month. Slowly, the children started taking more and more healthy food. Initially, they took a little bit, they added more. And what? It's a herd mentality, right? Human beings. When they saw the person in front is taking something, the other person also is motivated, they took. That's how it happened. So precisely speaking, what we would be doing is, we would need to transform clients' needs. We would need to be choice architects, right? So that's where financial life planning comes in. We are essentially choice architects using evidence-based approach, which is neuroscience. You're basically changing the neural pathways in the brain, where we have a lot of belief systems which says, no, you can't do this, you can't do this. Like example, simple thing, regulation. We believe, oh, SEBI has put so many things on me. I just wouldn't be able to grow my business, or my business is going to die. Is it really going to die? We have been having regulations changing since 2009. You see, take a simple example. Direct was introduced in 2009. And what is a statistic? Even now, only 10% of retail clients are investing in direct. 90% are going through advisors and people like you. So that clearly states your business is not going to be taken away. And the population is 1.1 billion. Where else are you going to get it? And out of that, 440 million millennials are there. Just imagine the numbers, the math. No other country in the world has the potential like what we do. And humanely, how many clients can you really handle? Actively, I mean, you might have 5,000 clients, you might have 10,000 clients on your roster, but you would be handling 5 to 10% at the most with some resources. What if you can add value to start with 1% of the clients by using the financial planning approach? So that's where I would like to leave you with a little thought on it.
Yeah, thanks, Parth, for that such a detailed answer. Indeed, it's very opening. I mean, why you have come, and it's what made you to come as a life planning. And I love the nudge which you are creating. I'm sure life planning is a value-based and it's a life-centric approach. It is not business centric. It is not the transaction, but it is moved to the transformation. And of course, it engages the customer and it empowers the customer and it gives the meaning to the customer. I fully watch with you, like when you said, whichever the regulations, whichever the way it shapes, whichever the way people can call me, if I am taking care of my client for the life centric and life planning approach, probably, I mean, I don't even look at what robos can does, what fintech can does, because I am with my client for lifetime, not for one life. I am for the client for the generations. That's what I said. MFD is multi-generational financial advisor. It's that's fair. But can you throw some light here before we go detailed on the life planning, and you can take us through? And what does value this add to the business? Since we are talking to the MFDs and RAs, how that add value to the business of them?
Okay, this is a great question.
And can you give some examples wherever you find?
Yes, I'm going to give you the example directly. So when I was doing mere financial planning, okay, I only knew the financial planning aspect of the client, and the network that was handling, literally speaking, or assets under management of average of clients was less than 50 lakhs. Okay, but the moment I shifted to financial life planning, it moved to 4 crores, 5 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores. A simple thing is, when you are basically sitting with a client and spending a lot of time to understand the client, there are certain process. For example, I will be walking through the share screen, Wheel of Life. The Wheel of Life alone is a very powerful tool which is used by life coaches. So that's what we will use to help the clients. And one of the things that happens is that it's not only increasing the net worth with the client you're dealing with, the most important thing we are doing, and I have done this with my clients, if you notice, the parents and children have a generation gap. And they always want to help the children in their career, but they always think, like all my clients also thought, my kids don't know anything what they want to do. But it's not the fact. So they asked me, can you do something? I said, yes, that's precisely what I want to do. I took the Wheel of Life with the children. Today, I'm just giving in short summary. One kid, after doing engineering, he didn't want to do the regular stuff. He's a racing driver. And apart from that, he set up a business which is training the smaller kids to do racing. Plus he does racing. Plus he has a business where he generates great revenue from the second year onwards. So the Wheel of Life alone has given so much clarity. Yes, there were some challenges, like always the mothers will say, oh, racing means I don't want my child to go. So it took some time to understand what's it. It's basically fear. Oh, my child will die. So we address that. Okay, he's going to go-karting first. Go watch him. He's going to the next race, watch him. Technology has improved. Everything has improved. There are safety measures. You see for yourself. And then, because he's enjoying what he is enjoying, I think it's ideal you should allow him to do that. So that came across on their own. That's one. The next other client was amazing. This client thought his child doesn't know anything. He didn't have a clue of what it is. The moment I did Wheel of Life, this guy was just 16, 15 years at that time. He had clarity till 60. Can you believe it? He said, after this, I am going to do urban planning. And after urban planning in bachelor's, I'm going to do master's in US. And within master's, I am going to do actually the metro system because it's environmental friendly. And to provide proof of it, this was a Dubai client. He had been going in the metro, his mother said the previous week, literally spends 1.5 hours just going by metro and back and forth, time pass. She didn't understand what's the idea behind it. He explained, I go by the metro 1.5 hours observing how it works. And it gave so much clarity for our planning for him. He has already finished his MS. He's already got a job in an urban planning firm in Chicago. Another interesting quote I would like to say, this is the most crucial case study, which I think you people will love it, because this is something to do with all of us. Returns nahi mil raha hai, right? Arey yaar, 1% kamti ho gaya in 1 month. Pardon my Hindi. It's a South Indian entertaining Hindi. You enjoy it, okay? So, एक टक्का कमती हो गया ये महीना में, what are you doing? So I was listening to him, and in his entire portfolio, there was a fall from equity portion just 0.5% in that month, because the markets had fallen quite a lot. And nothing has changed. His goals have not changed. Nothing has changed. Here is a client who never gets angry. He does meditation literally every 1 hour. So I was surprised what got him on him. So I just listened to him. The first thing in life planning, as the first thing you learn, is to be a keen listener, deep listening. You have to be an exquisite listener. Don't try to defend. Let the client vent out. It's perfectly fine. Then I asked him, so what's happening in your life? Is there any good news? Is there any bad news? Can I hear something? He almost broke down. He said, you know what? I didn't plan for my second child, and my retirement, we had planned in 2 years down the line. Now I can't retire. So the anxiety and fear came from there. It's got nothing to do with the return. So when I addressed that, when I said, wow, we are going to get second child, that must be interesting. So that must be for your first child, a company, and she's going to enjoy. And it's just a question of shift of couple of years at the most, but I can definitely tell you we can still achieve your retirement goal, maybe plus or minus 2 years. He was so peaceful afterwards. And then we reviewed it. He has achieved his goal already. Exactly 2 years later. Instead of 50, instead of 48, he has achieved at 50. That's basically what we call retirement is. It's called cruise mode. You don't need to kind of fully retire, but you will do something basically.
It's nice.
Just one
Part,
second, if you don't mind, I have to switch on the power. Sorry.
Yeah, please. Friends, I think in the meanwhile, Path comes in, you can all put your questions, but as you get, you can put it in a Q&A box. Chart has become full of conversation. Better any questions you put in Q&A, we can take those questions at the end of the session from the Partha. And hope you are all enjoying the conversation with Partha on life planning. Partha, this is a question to you. Are you comfortable now?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, like this is I love the way you said how it can value add to the business and value it is adding to the client. You know, you mentioned about how it can be evidence based, how the conversation intelligence can become better. I don't need to talk about NAV. I don't need to talk about day-to-day performance. I talk much beyond. You know, I am the most respected advisor when it comes to the my finance, and I'm also enriching the value of my relation with my client and his life. But you know, can you narrate like how the client is benefiting at the end of it? Proof of the pudding is, client has to get a benefit.
Yes.
And what is an addition?
I'm now going to share the screen now. So the proof of pudding is right here. So this is what the presentation, why? If you look at it, it's about transformation happening because just like a potter, you continuously work on it, both on your side as well as client side. This is basically the transformation that you work on where you use the right brain as well, not just the left brain for numbers. This is the proof of the pudding, sir. What you asked, what the advisors come with the difference, the first proof of pudding. I hope everybody can see that. It's such a huge difference a financial advisor can make compared to a non-financial advisor. This is a research done by HSBC, and this has been data source collected by this colleague of mine. This was presented in 2014. Now I'm going to present you more with another interesting one. I'm going to have a quiz kind of a format here. Can you guess what is this? This is FA, financial advisor. What does the financial advisor do? Can anybody put it in the chat? And Mr. Rao can say that.
Yeah, sure.
What is DNS? What is
I think
DNS?
somebody has. Senthil, you asked it for the previous slide. Don't worry, we share all the slides at the end, Yeah. Can you use the chart for the conversation?
Yeah. Can anybody answer what is D&S in this? What is the role of a financial?
Somesh Gupta says distribution and sales.
Okay. Anybody else?
Debt and savings, Shilpa Goli says.
Okay, I think you need to give some chocolates and keep chocolates, virtual chocolates. Okay, so
Data
anyone
and
else? Still
Ankur
better?
says, Ankur says it's a data and strategy.
Okay, still better. Anybody can come up with one more chance.
Data and solution, Tejas.
Okay, last chance. Still better.
Dy- Dynamic asset allocation, Ramalingam Sundaram says.
Pretty much close by. I think we should give him a big clap. It's
Great, Sasra.
diversification and strategies.
Fantastic.
That's
That's
what
the
the
way.
role of a
Yeah.
financial advisor, right? He or she is adding value through diversification and strategies, right? Now, can anybody say what is this BC? It's definitely not before Christ.
Not before Corona also.
Yeah, it's not before Corona also. Can anybody guess what is BC?
You can use the chat box to converse.
Yeah.
Balancing. Some who said Asan Ali says it's balancing.
Okay. Anyone else? Better?
Basic compliances, Mr. Dhaval. Prabesh Sharma says it's a basic conversations.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. That's very interesting. Yes.
Yeah,
Anyone
it has
else?
come from Krishnendu, behavioral change.
Wow. You got to give him the biggest chocolate, sir.
Yeah.
Behavioral change. Now, let's go to this S. What is S out here? If you look in the context of network, what is S in this?
Service or solution, Tejas Desai.
Okay. Anyone else?
Savings, Somesh Gupta.
Yes. Who said savings?
Somesh Gupta and Arvind Madhavan, Arvind Muthandwan.
Which chocolates, big chocolates for you guys. Okay. What is I in this? Everything is related to network. What is I in this?
It's a investments, Venkatachalam says.
Absolutely. Yes, big chocolate. Okay. What is R here?
Or is returns by many of them, Ankur, Mukesh.
Fantastic. But can they see it's kind of broken up? What does it mean? The circle is broken up, unlike the investment. Can anybody state why the circle is broken up?
Returns are not fixed, Somesh Gupta says. It's come as occasional.
Awesome, awesome. You guys are brilliant, yeah. Totally brilliant. So if you map all this, can somebody sum it up what this graph is trying to say? Which financial advisor is able to add value in this and how?
Probably behavioral management is the key. That's what Ramalingam says. It's you are bringing behavioral transformation. Shilpa Gole says, and help clients to bring about behavioral change. I think more or less all of them are there.
Yeah, but how is it connected? How is this? If you see all the connections of the graph, if you see the behavioral change is taking to savings, from there it's going, there is all kinds of arrows going. How do you connect it? The most important to the network. Can somebody give a quick picture? What did they understand from this? How advisors are contributing to their clients' network?
Sachin Thorat says behavioral changing increases the savings.
Yes. Yes. Next step.
Through life science, you are managed serving from the life. I think Mr. Dhaval says savings investor. It's very nice. Making client
Fantastic.
to,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Absolutely perfect. So if you look at, due to behavioral change, savings increases, that leads to more money going into investment. That leads to increased return despite fluctuations, which means increase in net worth. right?
Absolutely.
Is it not such a very, very evident thing that when you focus on behavioral change, the savings get automated, people don't keep moving in and out, they don't get anxious, which way the markets are going. And I can tell you from my experience during 2008 or 2006 or any of these periods, none of my clients have called me because they knew the goals are in place, the money is automated, asset allocation is in place, we review once a year. Most of the times we don't do anything. Most of the times we don't do anything. Like, I think there was an interesting conversation Amit had put up in the Twitter sometime back, and Suresh had put up. The toughest part is to tell the clients not to do anything and getting paid for it. Not to tell, not to do anything and getting paid for it. I have been
Absolutely.
doing it for now 20 years now. It's the toughest thing, but people do that. It takes some time because behavioral change takes time. We all have behavioral change problems among us as well. So it takes some time, but if we can do that, that works beautifully. I will run you through a few more slides to take you through how this works still better.
Yeah. Like, can I ask you one question here?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, like, it's always, it confuses how the before the I think you may be explaining the slides, how the life planning is different from my financial planning, the first one. And second is, what are those basic components and what is the basic approach? Because, then we can have a detailed session. Friends, I would
Yes.
like to tell, I'm pleased to inform you, I requested Mr. Parth to help us to have a detailed, longer workshops at Aditya Birla Sun Life Asset Management Company through our Nipun Academy. We are pleased to inform and confirm that he has agreed, Parth has agreed, and we will be spending 2 Saturdays with Parth very soon. And you can show your interest today, then we can quickly do it, and we can send the invites to Cafemutual as well as individually from the AMC we will be doing. We will be doing 2 Saturdays a workshop, and post that you can go a little more advanced. That of course choice given to you. It is not ending there, but this is you are just getting the trailer today, and Parth, over to you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. So, very simple way to explain. I can take my own life as a financial planner. So, what we do as a financial planner or advisor, we go to the client, we give the Excel sheet to fill up your goals, priorities, and typically people will fill up 6 to 10 goals, and most of them the priority will be 1 or 2. Say yes or no if you believe in that. Chat your experiences. That's been my experience early days. And what happens is we'll calculate and we'll come back and say, okay, to put together all the goals, it will cost you maybe 10 crores, maybe 20 crores, maybe 30 crores. Then what happens? The clients don't invest. They believe in my lifetime, I'm not going to make that kind of money to even bother about it. So what happens typically is that they do these random investments, which is tax planning, which is buying some insurance product, which is buying some post office policies, post office certificates and all that stuff. So typically speaking, this is the same problem across the world. Financial planning and financial life planning, there's only one difference. According to George Kinder, when financial planning is done right, it's financial life planning. And for 40 years, we have not done financial planning right because we have left out the life part of it. We have focused only on numbers because we didn't want to spend time or invest time with the clients to understand them better, their fears, concerns, dreams in a qualitative manner, then marry the numbers. There is no way the financial is going to be out. It is very important. Like I said earlier, finance plays a big role. What you do is you take into account all this aspect. What is a big difference in financial life planning is the clients buy into the plan because you work with them. When you work with them and the clients buy into your plan, you don't need to remind them also to invest. They will invest and they will say, look, this is my account statement. You don't need to do follow-ups. I have never done follow-ups in my life much. I would just speak once a month or once in 2 months, just ask them to send the account statement because I've been working as a fee money planner. So that's the big difference that life planning can bring. And the most important thing, like I said earlier, it is not just about money, right? At the end of the day, everybody is looking at, I can share the screen and show you this. health, wealth, happiness, and meaningfulness. Let me take you through once more this. So how is this? Because you position yourself as a choice architect, because you are facilitating, you are not giving solution. So this is the exact definition of it, what I talked about. I will hold on for a minute.
This is fantastic to look at choice architect. The
Yeah,
terminology which you said is really good, because we are living in such a world where, you know, taking choices is the most complicated. And I love the way you said is you are serving the client for life, and when you are bringing that life there. And, you know, we measure a lot of initiatives which we do clients lifetime value, CLTV. Here the
yes,
CLTV part is which is coming to you. It's and
yes,
I remember Mr. Kurian, ex-chairman of AMFI, he says all IFAs, at the time, the term he used is IFAs. IFAs are working for the client, not for life, one life, for multi-lives, because it's like, you know,
absolutely, sir.
that's a, and one term which he used to tell us is, which I love the most even today, mutual funds is one instrument, can serve
Yeah,
for everyone except two kinds of clients. One is who has not yet born, and one is who has died and dead and gone. Means, you
yeah,
know, I can serve home to tomb.
yeah. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Look at this picture. Don't you think you're getting annuity business? That's what life planning is all about. In simple terms, you are able to retain clients for generations because you are not only helping the first generation, but the second generation as well as the third generation. How? With your unique usage of tools and resources. And it's not something a rocket science that you need to learn. I'm going to take you through what is it that you need as skill sets. And if you look at what's the first thing people are facing, I'm sure you all will be familiar. We also face the same thing, right? If you look at the word art I put, automatically it took the information overload the biggest. I didn't do anything. I did not manipulate these words. So you see uncertainty, information overload, stress, confusion, choices. Divorce is happening big time in India now. Anxiety, fear, these are the ones. Money, all of these are there. Job loss. We have lost 100 million jobs, by the way, due to COVID in just 2 months. And what's it people are looking at? You look at it this one word, clarity. And if you look at what stands out is health, wealth, happiness, meaningfulness, informed choices, life balance,
Yeah.
and life goals, which has clarity basically. That is what we are in the business of. We are not in the business of just doing financial plan or advice. And it's a misnomer. Those days are gone. So what are the key skill sets that you need to have is three things. I will break it up. This might look very technical. It's very, very simple. It's about beliefs. First of all, we need to have our own belief systems changed, that it is possible that I can change. It's very important to understand, because if you look at research has shown a dozen words are something that we use very commonly in day-to-day life. Out of that, 50% are negative words. Yes, no. If anybody can put it in the chat, Mr. Rao, you can just let me know. I'm not
Sure.
able to see the chat.
Can you put the question back to them once again?
Yeah. So typically, on an average, we use dozen words frequently every day. Out of that, half of them are negative. Yes, no.
Yeah, everyone says yes.
Yeah.
Madhusudan, Aparao, Mukesh,
Yeah.
everyone says yes. The vocabulary which you use is a transformational, I think,
Yeah.
Surya
And
says yes.
yes. And what we do is we generate on an average 64,000 thoughts every day. Do you know we average generate 64,000 thoughts? Don't you think it's amazing? I will take you through further numbers, how we can get more focused. And transformation vocabulary is nothing but changing it to positive, using positive psychology, using positive words, using positive thoughts, and all that. And rapport building is what the three key things that come in: being empathetic, being a good listener, asking right questions. clients have solutions. We don't need to provide them solutions. Of course, the implementation part, we will provide them with product recommendation. But as far as their life goals are concerned, they are the best people, right? It's their life. They know what is it they want to do in life. But yes, they don't have clarity. There is information overload, too many choices. That's where we come in as choice architect to facilitate by giving them options to look at, change the scenery, and let them take the call on what is it that they want to do, then construct the financial life plan with numbers as well. So that's rapport building with communication skills is a key. Then you have these tools which we have in life planning, which is a Wheel of Life, a powerful tool. Then most important is money scripts. Most of the time, people's behavior, if you see right from markets behavior to everything, is all determined from the age 0 to 7. Whatever they learn from their parents, explicitly or implicitly, that's what they are carrying. And there are some nudging tools that we can use, we have in the platform, which you can guide clients basically. So let me stop the share here for a minute, and I'm going to ask this question. Average 64,000 thoughts we generate in a day. So most of them are negative, or at least half of them are negative, right? Okay, now tell me, you know this famous sports stars like, let's say, Roger Federer, Nadal, Saina, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, all that. How many thoughts do you think they would be generating in a day? Any guess? Put it on the chat. How many number of thousands of thoughts they would be generating? 64 is what we do as an average human being. These are supposed to be spectacular people, right? Very high performing people. Focused. Any number you could let know?
Quite engaging.
What's the numbers coming, sir?
It's 12 to 15,000. Somesh says.
Wow.
Singh says 30,000. Vijay says infinite. Mukesh says it's 32,000. Arvind 20,000. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. It's 18,000 thoughts. The best performers in the world, be it any field, be it athletes. I've taken the example of athletes, be it anybody who's very productive, they generate 80,000 thoughts. Just imagine.
Fabulous.
Brilliant. So whoever was close to that 18,000, you got a virtual chocolate. So that's the crucial thing, you know. It's how do you focus, how do you generate these thoughts so that you ensure that you get the clients to focus on the goals. It's like what we were talking about in the backstage, the one thing. We all have too many things, too many ideas. It's very easy to get carried away. But what's the one thing we can focus? For example, regulator is always there. What if we can just focus on the client and help the client? Forget about going as RIA, forget about getting fees. Don't you think by focusing on the client, doing some value adds, by learning, don't you think you're adding value in the life of the client, and the client is going to stay with you and the net worth is going to increase? That means your assets under advice is increasing. That means your commissions are increasing. You don't need to be an RIA also. Yes, no? Anybody are still not convinced? Or they are partially convinced?
Mukesh says if the goal is, what is that? No room for confusion. Yes.
Fantastic.
I think everyone said yes. I mean, Pankaj, Aparav, Mukesh, Madhusudan. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. Great. I'll just
here
quickly
is like, it's like, you know, there is one question which has come from Mr. Madhusudan about the money script. I mean, you know, I was like, we can do detail in the workshops, but if we can narrate how that money script works.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Do you want me to say briefly anything about it?
If you can tell a word or two, how it can.
I can just give one example. Let's say our generation. Okay, I'm assuming most of us here are 35 to 50 years old. Our fathers would have said this: money doesn't grow on trees, right? That's a script. We have carried it. Now you talk to today's generation, you tell them 4-5-year-olds, they say, what? Money doesn't grow on trees. I see this ATM, you just put in the card, you get the money. I've seen my nephew saying it, my niece saying it, my cousin saying it. So the money scripts, what applied during our father's time, just don't work. Some of them, yes, works. Like, for example, prudently managing money and those things will work. But a lot of things really don't work. For example, a lot of us believe rich people got rich because of very, very bad ways. You know, the classic case was poor fellow Anil Ambani, Ambani group. They've always been painted that. I used to have that for a long time, very moralistic view about it. Oh, Ambani has got away with everything by doing all that. But when I look back, it's a perspective that has changed thanks to life planning. Nobody is good, nobody is bad. It's the environment that makes it, and things change. And if you look at it, he was far ahead in looking at the future, and he did certain things. And now if you look at, it's beneficial for the common man. Common man can buy a trouser and shirt, which at that time was not possible, and it's low maintenance. Just to give you an example very openly and frankly. So we all have a lot of money scripts and life scripts, which was developed from the second trimester during our, in the womb of our mother, and that we carry it. And I can give some research in our longer workshop, how some of the positive ones have helped as they grow up as adults, where from the wheel of life, you can make out that life is very balanced across all aspects. On a 0 to 10 scale, they have scored 7, 8 beyond. Very happy, very satisfied. So that's what is money scripts and thing. There are a lot of tools and exercises we will do in the workshop actually, online as well as offline.
That's fantastic. It's like, Partha, it's a very nice to listen about money scripts to wheel of life, and it's good. But if some of them, like, I'm very glad, I'm thankful to you for accepting to do workshops for 2 consecutive Saturdays, and a lot of people are shown very much interest and thing. I'm very glad, excited, many of them. And can you say how they can learn about life planning before they are coming, or somebody want to go deeper into that? Is there a course? Is there a book?
Yeah, I can say this after working on it for the last 10 years and also before that 10 years, we have put together an online course in the life and money. I can just share it in the chat if you would like to. So
yeah, they're asking for it. It's
yeah. So it's based on totally the life planning aspects. Absolutely. life-money.com. L is smaller. By mistake, it's come as uppercase. So if you type this life-money.teachable.com, you have the course, mini courses. I would suggest everyone test the preview course, which doesn't cost anything. There are 2 modules. Get a feel of it. Then we can look at how we can, take it forward. Because what we have done is we have put together the entire life planning concepts as a do-it-yourself for advisors first, and they in turn can give it to their clients and collaborate with them and develop a simple 1-page financial action plan. How many times you people would have been struggling doing 25-page plan or 10-page plan and clients never implement it? Okay, please put on chat again, not able to see. Okay.
Yeah, just choose all the participants. I think it would have gone only panelists. You can just choose that it is for the panelist and everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All panelists and attendees.
Yeah, it's there. So it's such a simple thing what we have broken up into very immersive one. All are like 10 minutes to 15 minutes max modules. There are 11 mini courses. Once you get a hang of it, it's not something new. Let me guarantee you this. Whatever you see there, some of them are new, some of them are nothing new. It's you would have heard it from Benjamin Franklin to Warren Buffett to everyone, nothing new as such. But when you see it, it's a simple concept, so powerful, it's tough to implement. For example, I met a very, very senior person in one of the biggest banks, and he said, what's a big deal in this health? He said, so you're driving home the point of being healthy is the first step towards wealthy. So I know that, I mean, I got to be healthy and I got to do exercise or whatever it is. It was just a 2-minute video, very powerful video. So I said, sir, fine, you and I, let's look at each other. Can we really say on a 0 to 10 scale, are we healthy right now? That stuck him. He said, no, I can only say I'm 3. That's about it. So that's what we are driving home the point. Many things in life are time-tested models, which we take it for granted, which we don't apply it. The secret to this whole thing is applying it on a daily basis. And that's where the workshop will help and the course will help to nudge you, basically. And in turn, you can nudge your clients.
Thank you so much, Partha. I think, the paucity of time, I'll stop you here. I'm very sorry. Friend, Partha is highly energetic and highly empowered. Conversations, once you start with him, it will never stop. And it's like, you can attend his workshop, you can feel that energy throughout the day, and it's the same energy you can see at the end of the day. That's a brilliance of Partha. Partha, I have a request with you before I take the questions. When it is coming to the workshop, is it possible if, like, for example, my friends, Mr. Vijay Bhagwat, all of them they're very excited and they're writing. Can we do a life, like, when as an advisor, when I come, is that possible? I can do my life planning first, then
Yes,
I can do for my client. Life
do
planning for the advisors. Can we call this workshop is a life planning for the advisors, and advisor in turn will go back and do the life planning for others?
The title of the program itself is Life Planning for Self and Clients.
Fantastic.
Unless we do it for ourselves, we cannot do for clients.
Yeah, I think then 2 Saturdays we are going to look forward. Probably in December and Jan we can do it. Thank you so much. Friends, you would have loved the energy and what he has. Everything is very different. I think the why, how, and what we got it, and it's going to be it is an evidence based, and your conversations are changing, and our business is moving from the transaction to the transformation. Probably now I can call my assets under management AUM will go to the it will change into the aspirations unleashed and maximize the opportunities. Your AUMs can go really well.
Yep.
And it's like, the belief patterns will go change. I look forward for the questions I am taking from the Q&A chat. Please put your questions on the Q&A. Then Parth will answer as many questions as you can. I think your personal question coming to you, Mr. Partha. How do you get clients through reference, or how? This is a question from Anil.
Okay. So what I usually have been getting is through referrals, yes. One other way to do it is a very simple way to do it is this entire online course itself is designed in such a way you can use it as a financial wellness program and do it in corporates. And when you do that, say 10 people attended, right now it's virtual, let's say, at least one will sign up. And you're not selling anything there, but people want more from you, they want more advice, they will actually come. But what I have done in my 10 years is, it's very different. I have handled only select clients because I want to make sure my values are aligned, because life planning is all about life-centered values. When my values are aligned, you will find your values. We will be doing that exercise. What are your key values, core values? That has to be aligned. When it's not aligned, you can see for yourself, you'll get angry, you will get upset, all that negative patterns will come. We are going to explore all that. We are going to even literally trigger you into it and see what happens. So I have chosen select clients and worked, and it was very easy for me from one client to second client referring, and I was able to do that. While doing it, we did start with the financial wellness programs and corporates, and we put together the training program. From there, some of the clients came, and that's how we did it. And I don't go by quantity, I go by quality. So I have been handling a handful of clients. I have stopped it now. I've essentially retired as a SEBI RIA from this year, because we have floated a platform for women advisors. So it will be a conflict of interest if I do individual advice, and people will not trust. So I have taken a back seat. I only do training, advisors, planners, and we do coaching program for people. Yeah. And the process that you employ, people will usually sign up. There is no negotiation that happens. I have charged clients even 4 lakhs per annum.
Okay, that's fantastic. I think, I have a lot of questions here. Immediate question which is coming as you spoke is Mr. Ramalingam says, who is your guru? What is the books you refer?
Yeah, I would say Money Quotients, Carol Anderson, and Amy Mullen. They really taught me what is financial life planning. And I had a new purpose in my life in 2011 that literally changed everything in me. I could see big picture. Now I am an entrepreneur. I'm not a financial planner. So I moved big. I've got angel investor. I've got companies, 2 companies. So you can see the growth. And we have got many products and services for consumers across the table, for kids, for millennials, for women, and for corporates.
Fabulous. I think, Partha, there are some questions which have come after you revealed that you have surrendered your RIA. These questions, I don't know whether the relevance is there, but I'll just read out. If you feel anything to be answered, you can answer. Otherwise, you can skip. This is a question which has come much earlier to announcing this. Dilip said, how you charge, what level of funds earning you enroll? The first question. Second question has come from Venkatachalam. If the markets peak, do you ask your clients to redeem funds or move some other or less volatile, irrespective of the goal being 10 years away? And I think these two questions, would you like to answer?
Yes, the second one I'll go first. When goals are 10 years away, I don't ask clients to redeem. Unless until it's a very extreme event. Let's say we evaluated during this time, lot of funds to be very open. I'm very open architecture. So Templeton closed 6 funds. That impacted quite a few clients of mine where I had recommended. So few clients did get impacted, but I evaluated and saw at core, the fund that I had recommended was pretty good. It took a huge hit in the first month, and in the third month it recovered, and it's meant for long term. So I said, stay put. I am watching it every month, the portfolio, so you don't need to worry. That's the exceptional 2 clients I still service on a free basis because I've retired. What I mean by retirement is I have to renew my SEBI license this year. I'm not renewing it. So officially I will call it as retirement year, this 2021. My renewal comes for January or February. So that's it.
Yeah.
And how do I go about charging clients? You have a discovery meeting. You assess what is it that they want. You assess their needs. And then I find out how much of hours I need to invest in them every year, or the first year to be precise. So typically, from my experience, I have seen if it's a high net worth client who's having, let's say, 5 crores, to give you an example, you might need anywhere from 50 hours to 100 hours, typically. And based on that, I charge anywhere from 1,000 rupees per hour to 2,000 rupees per hour or 3,000 rupees per hour, depending upon the complexity of the work. I assess the complexity of the work. Does it require a lot of review of the products that they have already got? Is it aligned with the goals? I do the phenometric risk tolerance profiler, do all that. And then there are 4 initial long meetings, each of 3 hours, that goes into designing the financial, one-page financial plan, which is a very powerful plan. And then they are automated. They do the investing. I give them the recommendation of which platform to go and invest because it's direct. And then it's run on autopilot. And next year we review it. So this is the way we go about it, basically.
Fantastic. There are a lot of questions which are coming in. Some of them I am skipping because of the time positive. Mr. Manoj has asked on the net rate of return and gross rate of return, taking into when you showed that financial advisor alpha when it has come. I mean, but that details even there, it is not there in the research. I'll skip that. And here is a question coming from Sandeep Gupta, how to become a life planner?
Yeah. So how to become a life planner is very simple. The simplest form you can take, start with baby steps. You don't have to go to the biggest step. There are 2 ways. The simplest form is you go to the online course, all the life planning elements have been incorporated. That's one. You want to truly go through the full course of financial life planning. There are 3 institutes in the US. One is Kinder Institute. The other one is Money Quotient. The third one is Mitch Anthony. There is one is Bill Bernbach, 4. Out of that, I would recommend either Money Quotient or Kinder Institute. Now, Sadiq is already tied up with Kinder Institute, so you can look at that possibly. Money Quotient is something I strongly believe in because it's got lot of education-led research and evidence-based approach, and they are now going virtual actually. So the advantage is that if you want to grow your company and you want to have professionals take over rather than you doing it single-handedly for each client, I would recommend Money Quotient. But if you want to run a lifestyle business with 50, 100 clients, then I would recommend George Kinder's one.
Thank you so much for it. And here is a question coming from Shekhar Sangeetam. When you said the wheel of life, can you explain wheel of life? Is it quickly possible?
Yes, very quickly in 1 minute. Wheel of life is nothing but it's where you are right now to where do you want to go in various aspects of life. That's why it's called wheel of life. Imagine a pizza. Break that pizza into 8 slices. And the 8 slices are life slices. Let's say health, inner growth, career, money, relationship, community. You can add whatever you want. Typically 8 dimensions of life. Okay, you assess first from a very observer point of view. Imagine that you are somewhere at 30,000 feet in an aeroplane and you're watching yourself and you're assessing detached. Where do you stand right now on a rating scale of 0 to 10 in each aspect of life? Honest assessment. For example, health. Most of us are pretty bad at health. We might rate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Then you decide where do you want to be, okay? And then also say in how many months or how many years. And when you assess these 8 dimensions, the most crucial thing is, unlike again doing the financial planning, taking up everything, take the one thing that you feel strongly. Work on it for the next 12 to 18 months. The advantage of this is that when you work on one thing, all other aspects of life also improves beautifully. So that's called the wheel of life, where a holistic life, you can lead a healthy, wealthy, happy, and meaningful life.
Thank you so much, Partha. Here is a question coming from Dilip. Dilip is asking, I think first question I can answer, how to join the today's training. Mr. Dilip, all the friends who are there today who has registered for this session, we will send an invite, we'll send the format, and as early as in a week's time, we will close the dates with Mr. Partha's availability, and you are invited and you can just register and you can be there with us. And he's asking, the next question is, can you suggest a simple book? Is it George Kinder book on life planning you suggest, or anything else?
Yes, George Kinder's books are amazing. You can buy those. There are 3 books of his. You can buy that. Then there is Michael K. has written a book on life planning. It's called, I think, The Business of Life Planning. He has explained clearly how to set up your business, life planning business. So Michael K. is one of the board of directors in Money Quotient. He is a leading practitioner of life planning. So you can do that. And these immediately that come to my mind, but I can send you lots of books as resources.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Sachin Thoret, difference in core life coaching and financial planning. Sachin, I think we have explained during the session. Any case, recording of this session is available to you. You can revisit and you can look at that. Here is an interesting question which has come.
This particular thing, this is not life coaching. A lot of people get confused. Life coaching is very deep. I'll just close this window so there's so much noise, if you don't mind. The perils of a lot of growth happening. So life coaching is very deep. We are not doing that. We are the intersection of life and money. It is to help clarify clients on various aspects of life and with a clear overlay of the financials to help them reach their goals. It could be personal goals, it could be financial goals, but when it gets deeper, for example, client has a lot of relationship problem, a lot of career problem, they need to go to specialists, or they have psychological problems, you need to refer to a therapist. Now we have got the list of all the people also. So when you find during discovery and further meetings, the client needs handholding with a professional other than you, you have to actually refer them. So we work at the intersection of life and money, but not very deep. If you want to be a life coach, you can be a life coach, which is what we do at WFA.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I think, life coach is available to you from various other institutions like, your
Yes.
CFI or ICF.
ICF,
Yeah,
yes.
I am a CFI certified as well as ICF certified life coach and executive coach.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's
Fantastic.
very good. And here is an interesting question. It's Harsh Thunder is asking. It's honestly, it's a very genuine and it's a true problem for many of the advisors. Ours is a time-intensive profession, but how do you charge clients who have already come with a hardcore thought process, getting advice for free? How does one say it politely?
So very simple. What I have seen is even the people who have never ever. I last year I had a client. Never he had engaged a financial planner. Never he had paid because he had never done it. But he had a financial advisor who would just recommend mutual funds. They will take commission. So when I suggested I would work on that model, he couldn't understand. So when I did the discovery meeting and put it down on paper, the client engagement letter with tangibles of what is it I'm going to deliver to you, demonstrate value, he just signed up, not one penny discount. So you got to demonstrate value by doing discovery meeting, take 2 hours, take 3 hours, and use the wheel of life. Simple, just use the wheel of life. We can teach you. You can go to the online course also, you can learn it. It's pretty simple to start with, but you need a lot of practice basically. So when people see value, to give you one more example, there was a research done by Rupa Purushothaman. I don't know whether you've heard of her, Goldman Sachs. She talked about India being 2030 the biggest developing economy, right? She did a research in Dharavi, the largest slum in Asia, and asked the women, will you pay for financial services if they add value? You know what the women said? We don't mind as long as they add value by helping us in retirement, by taking care of our children's education. We will pay a reasonable amount. If people in Dharavi can pay, anybody can pay. Now it comes with a caveat. Not everybody is going to be your client. So don't waste your time if someone is hell bent in taking free advice. You don't need to do that. You can simply walk away because your values are not aligned, and you can see you can find someone else.
Absolutely, well said. And here is the next question, which is coming is from uh, Manish Mansingani. What is your equity versus debt AUM mix? It's not required to be as far as life planning is concerned. And
I can answer that. Typically, what we do, we have done research, we have found out is the wealth creation stage happens between 25 and 45, right? That's the time people create wealth. But one big mistake people do is they take huge housing loan liability. If they can avoid that, you can literally have a 60-40 portfolio or a 50-50 portfolio, because research has shown that for every 5% increase, your returns have not increased at all much. This is there in Phenometrica research. You can go and check. I can send you also. This has been done over a period of 50 years research. Beyond 60-40, the value add in terms of returns are not there, even for the clients who take a very high risk. So there is no need to even go by the thumb rule of 70-30 and all that stuff. 60-40 is a good portfolio, or a 50-50 is a good portfolio.
excellent.
For most people. Of course, situations vary, caveat. Yeah.
I think there are many questions and a lot of compliments to you across. I think if I read out, it may take 10 minutes to read the compliments which is coming to you. This is the last question I take. It is Tejas Desai. What is the most importance of financial pyramid, which financial experts generally talk about?
I didn't get you, sir.
The financial pyramid, she is asking about financial pyramid. Normally financial experts probably is talking about the asset base and Tejas, if you can repost it, the question with the clarity, it would be nice.
Yeah. What exactly you would like to know, it will be helpful.
It is. Then with that, we can give any final advice. Any final advice you would like to give it to them before we sum it up?
Sure, sir. So if I get clarity on that, I can answer that. The financial pyramid, what's being talked about. What exactly does she mean?
Yeah, it has not yet come. If it comes, I'll come back to you.
Okay, I can assume probably an answer. Hopefully that helps. Typically, probably she means the Maslow's theory way, probably the basic needs, fulfillment, and then the meaningfulness comes in. So, in fact, you can use that even for budgeting to do creatively to help clients because people don't like budgeting. So, you can even use that and work on it. I wish if I could get a little more clarity on what she is asking, I can answer that definitely. And all I would say is I'm an eternal optimist, and I always believe that when you empower yourself with more knowledge and practice, I think nothing else can stop you. No regulator, nobody can stop you. It's just you who can stop yourself. You are the barrier, nobody else. It's here. It's right here. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Partha. You are also getting a lot of wishes, best wishes for your new journey and for the retirement. And friends, I think, his retirement is not probably he's retiring is one profile, but he's creating many professions. Apart from that, he's going to support many of the professionals to become life planners. And most of us who are here today and a lot of people who are going to participate through the YouTube, they will be learning a lot about it. And you can be one of those life planners. Indeed, it was very enriching session, Mr. Partha. A lot of compliments from everyone, and it's thank you so much for being here. I really thank Prem for giving this opportunity to connect with you and do it, and I personally thank you and I thank on behalf of Aditya Birla because you have agreed to come for the workshops, and that will be a great help because in the normal course pre-COVID era, when we were planning to do some of these sessions, probably we both would have traveled so much and still we would not have covered many people. Today we can virtually, you are at Pune, I'm at Bangalore, still we can do a lot of stuff. It's a great to do that, and I'll connect with you, and as early as next week through Cafemutual we convey to the people and to the others, and everyone going to get a very enriched workshop. Friends, I think you would have enjoyed Mr. Partha's session. His conversation is a great conversationalist. You can understand from him. He's a moving encyclopedia on many of the subjects. And when we are looking at life planners, we all, for our clients, we would have done some financial planning. We have done a great help. Probably we are adding bit of the life. We are adding life to the entire planning. I think you put that very clearly. And life is always, I think, when he said about you are the choice architects, life is about always the choices. And the life today is the choice which today, whatever we are living is the choice of yesterday. What we are going to tomorrow is we are making a choice today. And let us together come and become a choice and be a life planners. And you are going to be an advisor for life. Advisor for life is really about advisor about life. And somebody has asked for the life coach. You are becoming a preliminary of a life coach. Something of everything you will be knowing. And MFDs who are going to do the fulfilling careers, and you are going to create a lasting value for your investors. And that is a true value. It is not the net asset value, probably the permanent value which we are going to create. And at Cafemutual, I am very grateful. And today, Cafemutual for me is a CAFE cafe. We all care for you, see, and we admire you. You are being in this profession, and we are all friends for you. And here is a mission. We have an empowering you. There's a cafe. He is empowering you. And at ABC, I always say, always be competent, and you need to build that competence. Always build competence. End of it, whatever the business you are into, you do it with cheerfully. That is the ABC acronym for me. Always be cheerful. And thanks, Mr. Partha, once again. Wishing you all the good luck. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay wealthy. And over to Nishant. And thank you so much, Mr. Partha, once again.
Thank you so much. And it's been a very, very enriching experience. I hope everybody enjoyed. And Mr. Rao, I always admire your expansion of the acronyms. It's just amazing. I've watched you. It's something it's just brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. It's an honor.
Thank you, Mr. Rao and Partha, for that insightful session. And Partha, I would like to name you Money and Life Guru. As always, thank you so much, Mr. Rao, for giving us this beautiful acronym. And you have covered all the important aspects on life planning that would immensely help our audience. So finally, thank you all of you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being there. Thank you.